this morning a brand new exclusive CNN poll that paints a brutal reality for Democrats as they struggle to mount a unified opposition to President Trump. Americans' favorable views of the Democratic Party's brand are at a record low, just 29%. That's compared to 36% for Republicans. It is the lowest ever recorded for Democrats in CNN polling going back more than 30 years. As you can see, the party's numbers dropping a staggering 20 points in just 4 years.
Well, CNN having to do the tough thing, report on their own polls to say the Democrats are in the tank. And they're not looking like they're trying to get out. They're just kind of having a slap fight down there in the tank while they try to figure out how to combat Donald Trump. Because the old tricks don't seem to be working anymore. Well, you hear him every day here on 97.1, and he's going to join us now. Brian Kilmeade with us, co-anchor of Fox and Friends, of course, host of the Brian Kilmeade Show that leads right into our show. Brian, welcome back. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. I'm going to be seeing you soon.
That's right. This Saturday, I think I was just talking a few VIP tickets left. I'm going to be joining you at that VIP event. People can go to 971talk.com/events. The History, Liberty, and Laughs Tour. I can't wait for this, Brian. Tell us a little bit about what this event's going to be, maybe even a little bit different than when you've been here before.
I think it's going to be very different. I mean, in the past, you guys have been great when I've had books out, but I've never really put the whole thing together in one complete show. So gradually over the last 4 years, rather than wait for a book to come out, I thought, what if I could just hone a patriotic, historical, fun event into History, Liberty, and Laughs, where I go through America's timeline and kind of push back against 1619 Project. I talk about the war on history that we're looking at right now. Also give people an idea of my backstory, their backstory, and with my two books, The Games Do Count and It's How You Play the Game. So talk about sports and the role it plays, whether you become Michael Jordan or you don't. So why you do it. Yeah. And that's we pretty much made it into one show, and Fox Nation joined on it. So we're probably going to be streaming that live too, perhaps, on Saturday night.
That's exciting.
But I've done it before, and I bring two of my friends who are actors, comedians, and we reenact moments in history, and we kind of make it more fun and entertaining.
Well, tickets, I know there's a few VIP tickets left, 971talk.com/events at the Factory. It's this Saturday, March 22nd at 8 p.m. I am very excited to be there. The whole crew is excited. People can go to briankilmeade.com as well for more details. I played that little clip there at the beginning, and just the CNN doing a spot on the polling that they have that says the Democrats are in the tank. Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel for them right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, things can change, but they have to figure out why they should change and which they should change. Should they become more lefty? Should we go to bat for TDA, the prison gang that we put into El Salvador, or MS-13? Or do you want to go with Mahmoud Khalil, who's a Hamas sympathizer, Palestinian from Syria, who managed to get him into Colombia, where people I know with 105 averages can't get into an Ivy League school, but a guy from Syria hanging out working for a nonprofit in Britain gets into Colombia. That's interesting. And then when he does get into Colombia, he foments unrest. And at 31 years old, despite graduating, he lives on campus housing and continues to negotiate insurrections where he takes buildings over and then deals with faculty. So Trump tossed him, and that's where the Democrats come in. They're going to go to bat for him. Just a wonderful human being who hates Jews and hates Israel. Wonderful person to get behind. Yeah. So, I mean, if they continue to do that and make sure that men play in women's sports, good luck with that. And that DEI and meritocracy is no longer something America should stand for. Good luck with that. So they have to decide what issues that actually resonate with the American people.
I know that I love listening to you leading into my show, talking about foreign policy. You're very knowledgeable. You have the best guests on your show nationally, so it's always very informative. I was a Marco Rubio fan in the 2016 election. I think in the state of Illinois, I voted for him even though he was still on the ballot, but he had dropped out. Donald Trump, of course, the rest is history. But there were so many doubters in the Republican Party about Marco Rubio, and I continue to see people on X specifically being like, well, he's really proven me wrong about Marco Rubio. How's he doing as Secretary of State?
I think he's doing really good. Keep in mind, he's Secretary of State for a president. I don't care if it's Richard Nixon or Barack Obama. You don't go out there and say, Barack Obama's policy is this, but mine's this. Mm-hmm. No, you go ahead, you say, okay, I can read Trump. I will go over. I'll do my assignment, and I'll also have a certain amount of freedom from my 25 years in this, 25 years in public office, and my, I think, 18 years in as senator, where he became well known and respected as a great international relations mind. So he's also fearless. He's fantastic on the Sunday shows. So when people go to target him and mock him, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So I think he's doing well. Didn't stop the New York Times 2 weeks ago for saying Marco Rubio, how long can he last? This week was Michael Waltz's turn. If you read the New York Times, the story was Michael Waltz, how long can he last? He's disliked on both sides. And I'm thinking to myself, I know for a fact that's not true. Both sides meaning way left and way traditional Republican. Way right, like Steve Bannon, or more like a traditional Republican, maybe like George W. Bush or Condoleezza Rice. So, he came up and his first office job was Dick Cheney. But if you read his record, if you've tracked him, he's fantastic on foreign policy, knows how to fight wars, and he actually knows how to conduct from the diplomatic side. And I just watch these people write these stories, how they're on the outs with Trump. I don't even, where are they getting this from? I know for a fact it's wrong.
Yeah. We're speaking with Brian Kilmeade right now here on the Annie Frey Show, talking a little bit about the Democrats and them needing to find out what they actually stand for. Their true north has always been Donald Trump, the opposite of that. And it's not proving to be fruitful for them really anywhere right now. In your opinion, where would the Democrat winning issue be? Where could they rally to get some of the support back in a broader Democratic base? Trump's winning that much?
Well, they just got to pick. I think they got to pick the issues.
Yeah.
That would be, they can go with Trump. For example, you like the idea of cutting government. You like X, Y, and Z, but you don't like this. You like the idea of building up defense. You like the idea of dealing with Russia and Ukraine, but you don't like he's too tilted towards Russia. But you don't blow up everything that Trump does. And I think you got to stand for innovation. For example, anybody who says, why are we cutting government? Well, $36 trillion in debt. Why are we trying to fix Social Security? Because it's about to go bankrupt by 2030. So why are you focusing on Medicare? Because there's so much fraud in the system, and right now it's teetering on unaffordable. We can't afford it. How are we going to handle it without cutting benefits? What is your idea how to do that? How are you going to go into a system that's run on cobalt? I'm talking about the Office of Personnel Management in our government. What is your idea for making it leaner? Because the status quo doesn't work. Pushing back on Elon Musk and saying you don't like Tesla is not a policy. So what is your way of getting the $36 trillion in debt? Bill Clinton did it with Newt Gingrich. Is Bill Clinton not available for you to call? Is there nobody out there? Is there not a Treasury Secretary potential among the Democrats out there that will just look at a hard look at the numbers and come up with their own plan? Rather than saying that Elon Musk is a bad person. So that's just it. Come up, look at the issues are today. They're probably the same for both parties. And tell me how you'd solve them, rather than how bad Donald Trump is. Because it doesn't work. He got elected twice, and he hit more Republican votes than anybody else in history when he lost. So if you just want to keep saying how terrible he is, you're insulting the people that voted for him. And he's done in 3 years.
Yeah, they're going to have to think of something outside of Trump bad to bring people back together. Gavin Newsom is crossing the aisle to bring the Charlie Kirks and I guess Steve Bannons of the world over onto his podcast. Is this all because he's looking down the line to be the president of the United States?
Yeah, no question. But please don't buy it. And I give him credit for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
If he wasn't in office, I'd go, wow, that's kind of interesting. He's trying to remake himself. But he actually could do all the things right now that would show that he's realizing his attack on homelessness, his approach with illegal immigration, his approach with trans men and women's sports, his approach with the budget. All these things he could start implementing some moderate views as governor. And people could say, wait a second, you only changed to be president. Okay, have that debate. But you think you're going to do 3 podcasts and back open to Steve Bannon and Mike Savage, 2 of the most extreme people Republicans could possibly produce, a lot of Republicans don't agree with either one of them. So he listens. But the thing is, you're in office. So when people say, he's making a lot of sense, I go, but what has he changed in terms of policy? You know what he did? Even though his state is buried in debt, I think he put $20 million to Trump-proof. He put it into a general budget in order to legally fight what Donald Trump is doing. So don't tell me you're open to changing and acting more moderate when your actions tell a different story. Your podcast is something different. I think he's making money off it. Not that he needs it. I hear he's rich. And also this book out right now talking about how he's bought and sold by China. So when he was mayor of San Francisco. And it's hard to imagine him not, judging by the way he rolled out the red carpet for the Chinese president 2 years ago.
Yeah, the only thing that got him to clean up San Francisco at the time. Brian Kilmeade, thank you. We are excited for you to be here this weekend. Hopefully we don't have any of that wild weather that we had in the Midwest last weekend, and it's going to be great. VIP event, VIP tickets, a few remaining. Like you said, this is not going to be the same type of show that you've done here before. It's a whole different ball.
All I could tell you is I had a meeting. We had a big meeting yesterday, and we have Mark Cox and Mark Reed and Reardon don't know it yet, but they're in it. Would you, Annie, would like to be in any of when we bring history to life? Would you like to be a part of it?
Brian, I feel like I've been set up here.
Yes.
Because Trisha came up to me and she said the word skit, and I felt all of the blood rush out of my face. I don't know if I'm made for this moment, Brian Kilmeade.
I think you are, because we're not looking for great actors.
Well, then I'm
looking
here.
for people that care about history and want to have fun. But I would just feel really bad if we did the whole show and you thought, Brian didn't ask.
Okay.
I am officially asking. You have to reject me.
Oh,
so just think about it. Talk to your people and tell me. I
don't have people, Brian.
You want to be in.
I don't have.
Brian, she's not a great actress. She's perfect for this.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that.
No, there's nobody great. We're just having fun up there, and we're just doing it for the people who love you most. And the 1,700 will be there in the audience.
Well,
and they're going to say to you, "Why, Annie? Why didn't you do anything?"
Because I was scared. That's why. I was terrified. I can talk about this
He's
stuff.
such a pro. He's going to bring you along.
Yeah, I just
you can lean on him.
If I end up in this thing, it's because Brian publicly put me on the spot, and I love the people who listen to the show who are going to go sell out those VIP tickets, and then we'll see how that goes.
We're dangerous because we already sold more tickets than ever.
Well, there you go.
We're very close to a sellout. And I think until we sell out, if we sell out,
I'll do the skit.
We're very close.
Oh my gosh.
How could you possibly turn down an opportunity to be in front of your home listeners?
Isn't there another way?
No.
No, there's not. All right, fine, Brian, I'll do it. Gosh dang it. I'll do it. All right. This is a lot.
I'm telling the producers, we're ready.
All right, Trisha, I'm going to kill you. Thank you, Brian, sort of, for coming on the air. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
See you this weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.